Hello friends, I am Jodi from SewFearless.com, and today I'll be going over some tips on working with zippers, specifically installing the zipper on my Rafka Box pattern. If you've been sewing for a while, some of these tips will be too obvious for you, but I hope you will stick through this video anyway, because I have some less commonly known tips included towards the end of the video. Let's get to it. First of all, to sew the Rafka Box, we are going to use a zipper foot. You can sew zippers on using a standard presser foot, but I find for the smaller seam allowances of the Rafka Box, a zipper foot is easier to control. When you install the zipper foot, position your needle as close as you can to the presser foot. This places the narrow seam allowance under the zipper foot and gives the machine something to grab while feeding the project through. Secondly, I find it helpful to measure and mark my seam allowance on my machine's throat plate for easier reference. Here I'm using a sticky note, but a piece of masking tape or washi tape works as well. With the sewing machine set up, it is time to position our zipper onto the project. To hold the zipper tape in place while sewing around a curved seam, you have a number of options. You can use pins, or clips, or even tape. If you want to use a double-sided sewing tape, make sure you're using one that is narrow enough to fit within the seam allowance and not be seen on the right side of the fabric. You will need a 1/8 inch wide double-sided tape to fit this pattern. I prefer to use pins for this step, but I use them in an atypical way. Normally when pinning a project, the pins are inserted perpendicular in the seam, but I find that my zipper tape tends to shift around when I pin it this way, and I've achieved better results by pinning parallel to the seam and sewing from the sharp of the pin to the head. Be sure to remove the pins as you go. I am a self-taught sewist, so this might have been obvious to you, but it took me a while to figure this tip out. To sew a nice straight seam, you need to move the zipper head out of the way while you sew. You can leave the needle down and lift the presser foot to slide the zipper head out of the way. The Rafka Box takes moving the zipper head out of the way one step farther by removing the zipper head completely from the zipper tape and installing it again after the zipper tape is sewn in place. To remove the zipper head, cut off the tape above the zipper stop and pull the zipper head off. The two halves of the zipper tape are then installed on the Rafka Box before reinstalling the zipper head. To reinstall the zipper head, pull the two halves of the zipper tape through the zipper head at the same time. This is hard to do with just two hands, so there is a tool that you can use called a zipper jig. There are a number of different styles and homemade solutions for zipper jigs, but this is a 3D printed zipper jig I bought from Malwix. The jig holds the zipper head in place with a zipper pull up, with the two openings on top and a single opening on the bottom. Pull the two zipper tape halves through the zipper head together. Here it is again with an installed zipper. And those are my 7 tips for sewing zippers onto your Rafka Box. Until next time, this is Jodi from SewFearless.com. Bye now.